Hey guys, I'm J-Mac. This is Raid Shadow Legends, and today I've got another Faction Wars that I finished, and it was all because of an epic healer. So my Orc Crypt, I've been able to put together a pretty good Orc team. Oh, I can't even show in it. So here's what happens: is usually I try to get a video made on the fraction. I'm a math teacher. I'm getting my brains back into math mode, into the faction crypts, and it never fails. Try to get it done before it resets, so I don't have to wait another week. And it's fresh on my mind. But let's get into what I can get into. All right. So, anyways, I usually run out of time. I've either used my keys because I was testing a bunch of themes, and I probably should have been doing a video while I was testing stuff. But I've got a really good team. My core is set up really good. I've got Duck the Pierced. This dude is bringing some major debuffs, decreased attack, decreased defense. I do not have him booked up, and I probably don't even have masteries on him. And all of my champions are going to be mediocre gear. Iron Brago is probably going to have some of my better gear on him because I run him in my clan boss team. But I've got him fully booked except for this last book. So I guess he's not fully booked. He's missing one. But I didn't really care about throwing a book in for this buff. But anyway, he's bringing defense up. He can stun. He can provoke. He can decrease attack. He increases defense for all allies by 10% of his defense for his passive. He's an awesome, awesome legendary. And then for Seer, huge damage dealer. Her A1 hits really hard. The Weaken works really good with Duck's defense down. And then she does the buff strip, which is awesome and hits for a ton of damage. Then I've got Zargala, also another damage dealer. The thing is, for all my damage dealers, their HP is low, so my heals were super important. It's kind of not too hard to keep them alive, but I had to do a couple of runs over just because I got some bad RNG and they went down pretty quick. But she can throw down a weekend. This crack armor skill is awesome, which is the A3. So the A2 Devastate, if it kills an enemy, it'll automatically throw up the crack armor, which is AoE, drops the decreased defense on them. And so got a lot of good debuffs in this crew. But what I want to talk about is this dude right here, Vrask. I've only got up to level 50. And I'll probably need to take him to 60 just so I have him for secret rooms in the Doom Tower. But I was able to complete my faction wars with him at 50. So his A1 is pretty cool. It fills his turn meter by 20% if the attack's critical. But it just does a little bit of damage. His A2, same thing, a little bit of damage. But what's cool about him is his passive, Cannibalism. Heals all allies by 10% of his max HP whenever this champion inflicts a critical hit. So, you want your crit up anyway because crit hits increase the turn meter by 20%. And then so every crit hit, you're getting a heal off of him. And I'll go into my build here in just a second. So with my main four, I was just throwing somebody in that I had at 40. I was able to make it to the Red Queen on stage 21. I just could not beat her because by the time I got to her, I either had somebody dead or almost dead. And then stage 21, she does that HP swap. And so you'll almost have her dead and she'll swap HP with somebody and you got to start all over. And then plus, I think it's like every 3 turns, she's swapping buffs and debuffs. She's taking all of your buffs and then she's giving you all the debuffs. So you've really got to work around that. And I really wish I had my keys up so I could kind of go back in through it. I may have to do another video with that. But as you can see, it took me almost 11 minutes. I manualed every fight, but I did get 3 stars, which means I had everybody alive and working well at the end. But let's go in and look at my build. And my build is nothing good at all. That's if you've watched any of my videos, you know that for me, one of my blocks on my account is gear. I just need to keep farming gear, and hopefully in another 6 months or a year, I can start putting better gear on people. So Vrask, obviously he's an HP champion, and his passive was why you would build him. He does have an aura, increase ally defense in dungeons by 33%. That's good. You know, but his A1 and A2 isn't doing a lot for you. But it is with this cannibalism because every hit is a heal. So obviously you want his HP up as high as you can get it. Bigger, more HP, the bigger the heal. And then you want to get his speed. And then, of course, you know, survivability, which if you get his HP up high enough, you kind of slack on some of the defense. But I wasn't able to, you know, get him in the speed gear that I wanted. So I decided to put him in Relentless because his A1 is, you know, heal, and if you're autoing, you know, just auto with the A1 when only gets that extra turn. But, you know, regardless, the more turns you can get this guy, the more heals you're going to be giving out. And so I put him in Relentless. I thought that was a good way to get around my speed deficit. So, you know, my speed's pitiful. You know, it's below 200. But going through my gear and without pulling gear off of other champions that I use, you know, it's something I struggle with mainly because, you know, silver. Holy cow, I'm going through a ton of silver now because it's so easy to do those rolls. I'm really having to watch myself. You know, for building him up in Relentless, you know, I probably went through 10 million silver pretty quick and just trying to get the gear where I wanted. So I went ahead and did crit rate gloves. You know, ideally for anybody you're wanting to do damage, you do crit damage gloves and try to pick up your crit rate from everyone else. But since I really don't have him in there for a damage dealer, I wasn't worried about getting his hits up as high as they can possibly get. I just want him in there for healing. I have enough damage dealers with that crew to be putting out a lot of damage. So I put him in crit rate gloves. They also had some more speed on them. So I thought it worked really well for what I was going for. I've got him in resilience, chest, and boots. I did that because for the boots, I had speed boots in the resilience. And I thought, well, it only makes sense. I'm trying to get his HP up as high as I can. So I put him in an HP chest. I'd love to get a 6-star, you know, get that 60%. Got a couple rolls on straight HP, which suck, but is better than, you know, 3 rolls in defense. And then doing that set, I get another 10% off his base HP. So again, the boots were speed. And then on the rest of the Relentless, I just tried to pick up the little bit of extra crit rate that I needed to get him 100% and as much speed and HP as I could. Didn't do a good job on getting, you know, more speed and HP way I really wanted it. You know, would love to have 3 rolls there. But for his total stats, you know, I've got him at a little over 50k on the HP. You know, get him to 60 and I can get a HP banner put on him because I got an HP ring, HP neck, and then I'll put an HP banner on him. Let me go back to here. So, you know, every single turn this dude gets, he's putting out a 5k heal. You know, I'd love to get that up higher, you know, where he was at, you know, 60 minimum. You know, his attack, I really don't care about his attack. Defense, I'd like to get more on him just for survivability, but he wasn't ever really at risk for dying. It seemed like they were going after Zargala, Duck, and Seer. So it was just a matter of keeping them alive. And with Iron Brago throwing his defense up buff, you know, it kind of made it easy. Speed, obviously, would love to get that higher, but That's what the Relentless comes in, is gives him those few extra turns to compensate for having a lower speed. Crit rate, you have to have 100%. That way you're getting crit rate. I think I had one hit that came up as a weak hit, even with 100% crit rate, but that didn't kill me. But in that Relentless gear, my first run fighting the boss, I had 5 turns in a row where that Relentless procced. It was insane. Um, then resist, I would love, I'd love for every champion to get resist, but unless you're doing an actual resist build, that's always going to be low. And then his accuracy, I don't care about his accuracy. I'm not trying to land any debuffs or do anything. Just wanting crit hits, HP as high as you can get it. So, like I said, this gear is nothing amazing. And for being level 50, it was just awesome that I really thought I'd have to get him up to 60 to be able to beat that last faction war stage. Um, so one thing that goes to show, if you got, a team you're working on and you got a level 50, give it a shot. You may wipe your first, second, third, or fourth time, but, if you're getting close, chances are that you're eventually going to get some good RNG, and you might be able to do it with some level 50s in there. But anyway, I have had him in my vault for no telling how long. I'm not going to put books in him. That's one of the awesome things about him, is no books required for him being a healer. Also, I have no masteries on him. Obviously, you put masteries on him, you can increase those heals a little bit, get his defense bucked up a little bit. But for his role and what he was doing for me, and I really think having him in that Relentless was huge just because of the extra turns. For secret rooms, I'm probably going to have to take him up to 60 and get an HP banner put on him just to get his HP up higher, but definitely probably not going to worry about books, probably not going to worry about masteries. And I'll wait until I get a secret room that I need to use him in to see if I need to take him up to 60 or not. But anyways, I just wanted to share that little bit of success with you guys. If you have Vrask, he can be a healer. Of course, it helps when you've got awesome damage dealers go along with him. That way you're not sitting there doing, 4 and 5 minute fights on the waves. But the waves I got through really quick. It was just the boss of having to time your buffs and debuffs and then dealing with that HP swap. So anyway, again, just wanted to share Vrask with you guys. Let me know. Have you used him before? And if you have, where else do you use him at? I feel like he's probably got a place in some other areas of the game, but he might be able to run along with some of your dungeons of if you've got some good debuffers, good buffers, and good damage, and you're just lacking that healer. He'd probably do pretty good because both hits, and it doesn't matter on cooldowns or any of that stuff. Both hits, he's healing. So I think he could be very useful in the early game and in the mid game, and obviously, again, he's got a place in some very niche in-game stuff. I'm gonna say mainly with Faction Wars. But anyways, guys, I thank you so much for watching. If you would subscribe, it'd help me out greatly. And like I said, let me know your comments. Let me know what you think, and I will talk to you guys later. And I hope you all have a very blessed day. We'll see you next time. Bye.